It was a sunny Saturday afternoon, and I was waiting for a package I had ordered, a set of rare collectibles I'd been tracking for months. I had arranged for delivery around 2 p.m. and was pacing back and forth near my front porch, excitement and anticipation mixing with the usual apprehension about Karen, the notorious HOA tyrant. Sure enough, around 1:45 p.m., I saw her SUV slowly pull up. Karen's son leapt out and ran toward my front door just as the delivery driver arrived. I shouted across the yard, "Hey, that's my delivery." Karen's son froze mid-step. "Mom said it's ours," he shouted back. I ran toward the porch, waving at the delivery driver. "Sir, this package is for me. I have the tracking number and ID." The driver hesitated, glancing between me and the boy. Karen had clearly trained him to be bold, expecting neighbors to defer to her authority. I took a deep breath, reminding myself to stay calm. "I'll handle this," I muttered. Karen emerged from her SUV, arms crossed, sunglasses on, looking every bit the self-important matriarch she was. "Give him the package," she commanded. "My son says it's ours." I blinked. "Excuse me? That package is being delivered to my address. It is registered under my name. You have no claim to it." Her eyes narrowed. "I don't care. He said it's ours. That's good enough." The delivery driver looked confused, clearly uncomfortable. "Ma'am, I need a signature from the recipient or someone authorized to receive this delivery," he said. Karen stepped closer, voice rising. "This is harassment. You can't just refuse to hand it over." I took a step forward, keeping my voice calm but firm. "Officer-level calm," I reminded myself. "Sir, I am the recipient. Here's my ID and the tracking number." I handed both over. Karen gasped audibly. "You think you can flaunt the rules? You think you can intimidate me?" Before I could respond, I reached into my pocket and called 911 preemptively, knowing that if she escalated, the authorities could handle it immediately. Within minutes, 2 police cars arrived. Karen turned to the officers, pointing a finger dramatically. "Officer, he's refusing to hand over property that belongs to my son. You have to intervene." The lead officer raised an eyebrow. "Ma'am, can you show proof of ownership for this package?" Karen froze, muttering something about receipts and entitlement. I don't have it, but it's ours by right." The officer shook his head. "Sir, are you the recipient?" "Yes," I said calmly. "Here is the tracking number, my ID, and confirmation from the delivery service. This package is addressed to me, and I am the rightful owner." The officer glanced at Karen. "Ma'am, unless you can provide legitimate proof of ownership, you have no claim. You are interfering with a lawful delivery. Any further harassment could lead to citations or arrest." Karen's face turned red, and she tried to argue, but it was clear she had no leg to stand on. She muttered about unfair treatment and corruption before retreating to her SUV, slamming the door. I signed for my package, carefully checking the contents to ensure nothing had been tampered with. Everything was intact. Relief washed over me. Later, I submitted a formal complaint to the HOA, providing a full report, photos of Karen's SUV, statements from the delivery driver, and a record of the police visit. Within days, the HOA responded, dismissing any claims from Karen as baseless and formally warning her that further harassment would result in fines or suspension from HOA privileges. Word spread through the neighborhood about Karen's latest failed attempt at entitlement. My neighbors, who had witnessed her antics, laughed quietly about the audacity of trying to claim a stranger's delivery. Karen, predictably, became increasingly isolated, as more people recognized her for the meddling, overzealous neighbor she truly was. From that day on, I received my deliveries without incident, and Karen never attempted to claim anything at my address again. The lesson was clear: preparation, calm composure, and evidence-backed action could turn even the most aggressive attempts at intimidation into nothing more than a spectacle for others to watch. I carefully placed my collectibles on the shelf, smiling to myself. Karen had tried to manipulate the situation, involve the police, and assert her authority. But in the end, It was her own actions that exposed her for the meddling, overbearing figure she truly was. Justice, in its quiet, methodical way, had once again prevailed.